Travis, your thoughts on this category? Anything come to mind for you in terms of, feature sets that would be extraordinary here? I know you like to think about products and the consumer experience.
It's really interesting. So, I've been spending, as you guys know, I've been spending my time on real estate and construction and robotics. And so I've been out of this kind of consumer software game for a long time. But it's super interesting over the last 6 months. There have been a number of consumer software CEOs. Like when I hang out with them or whatever, they're like, how are we gonna keep doing what we do when the agents take over?
Yeah. The paradigm shift is so profound that the idea that you would visit a web page goes away and you're just in a chat dialogue.
You have an agent that's just taking care of your flights for you. So I think there's a leapfrog over that. I think it's just like you tell something, I want to go to New York. Can you, I'm sort of looking at this time range. Can you just go find something I'm probably going to like and give me a couple of options?
Yeah.
And it's just you have an interface, and then, is this thing that you just showed on Perplexity, is that the interface? Or do I just have an agent that just goes and does everything for me? And is this the start of that? I just haven't spent enough time. I do know that every consumer software CEO that has an app in the App Store is tripping. They're tripping right now. And I mean big boys. I mean guys with real stuff. And sometimes I'm doing like almost like therapy sessions with them. I'm like, it's going to be fine. You actually have stuff. You have a moat. You have real stuff that's of value. They can't replace it with an agent. And
you're lying to them. You're doing hospice care and you're telling them everything's going to be okay, but the patient's not
he's showing options on Robinhood while he's like, tell me more. More.
No, guys. All these things. There's certain things that are protected and there's certain things that aren't. That's all.
Well, Chamath, let's talk about that because you and I are old enough to remember General Magic. This vision was out there a long time ago with personal digital assistants, and you would just talk to an agent. It would go do this for you. This feels like a step to that where it does all the work for you, presents you the final moment and says approve. So almost like a concierge or a butler. Yeah.
I think what you're describing is what we want. But I think more specifically for today, Keith and Travis totally nail it. Look, I think building a browser is an absolutely stupid capital allocation decision. Just totally stupid and unjustifiable in 2025. Specifically for Perplexity, I think their path to building a legacy business is to replace Bloomberg. Everything that they've done in financial information and financial data, in going beyond the model, has been excellent. As somebody who's paid $25,000 to Bloomberg for many years, the terminal is atrocious. It's terrible. It's not very good. It's very limited. And anybody that could build a better product would take over a $100 billion enterprise because I think it's there for the taking. I wish that Perplexity would double and triple down on that. And so when you see this kind of random sprawl.
Let's do it, Chamath. Let's just go do it.
When you do the random sprawl, I think it doesn't work. But I just want to say, like, a browser is like the dumbest thing to build in 2025 because in a world of agents, what is a browser? It's a glorified markup reader. It's like handling HTML. It's handling CSS and JavaScript. It's doing some networking. It's doing some security. It's doing some rendering. But it's like, this is all under the water type stuff. I get it that we had to deal with all that nonsense in 1998 to try Lycos or Google for the first time. But in 2025, there's something that you just speak to, and eventually there's probably something that's in your brain which you just think, and it just does it. You're thinking, I need a flight to JFK. Or at the maximum today, in a very elegant, beautiful search bar, you type in, get me a flight. And it already knows what to do.
Keith, in some ways, this is a step towards that ultimate vision. So you'd think it's worth it to, sort of Perplexity to make this waypoint, perhaps, if you look at it as a waypoint between the ultimate vision, which is a command line, an earpiece, a
How do you get distribution, Jason, for the 19th web browser in 2025?
Well, yeah, that is a challenge. And I think most people are speculating Apple, which has a lot of users, might buy Perplexity or do a deal with Perplexity and give them that distribution because of the Justice Department case against Google. So there's been a lot of speculation about that. But Keith, what do you think?
Well, I don't think they'd buy anything worth it. Like, what is Apple going to get? And we continue this failed strategy of Apple.
Right.
Apple has missed every possible window on AI and continues to miss it. And it has cultural, I think the CEO has challenges. I think culturally they have challenges. I think they have infrastructure challenges. So it's not an easy fix. But buying Perplexity is not going to help. Like, Chamath's strategy is actually a pretty coherent one for Perplexity, co-op Perplexity. So I think that it's not a bad
pick a vertical and own it strategy.
Not
in
a
this
bad,
case,
not a bad idea, especially because you need unique data sources. Some of those data sources may or may not license their data to OpenAI. So you can do some clever things there. But I don't think there's any residual value that Apple would get out of Perplexity, except there's some product taste. But what are you going to spend? Like $1 billion for product taste? I mean, Mark's spending hundreds of billions of dollars, or whatever he's spending these days. And, Grok, if anything, Grok 4 shows that Mark really doesn't need to spend money to build a whole new team, because everything they've done in AI has also missed the boat.
Well, I mean, Keith, the way you phrase it there almost makes it worth it for Apple to throw a Hail Mary, have a team with some taste, because that's how they tend to do things, is something that is elegant. And why not just throw your search to it? Throw $10 billion at
what's elegant is if there would be a bunch
happens.
What's elegant would be if there's a bunch of agents and just a chat box. Seeing a bunch of visual diarrhea is not elegant. It's lazy.
Chamath, on our little Bloomberg clone, I'll give you naming rights, so you can call it
you like it.
Polyhapatia. So hey, can somebody bring up the Polyhapatia?
You know what's so
Actually,
funny?
It just rolls right off your tongue.
TK, listen, we were trying to do a screen of companies, and it maxes out at 5 companies on a specific type of screen where you're trying to compare stock price to EBITDA, and you're like, okay, I can only choose 5, I guess. So which 5 should I choose?
Lafont was on, right? Like 2 episodes ago, he was like, I can't pull this up. It's limited to 6 companies.
Dude, what do people use Bloomberg
the back
for?
5.
They use it for the messaging. Now, like, my team has traded huge positions via text message on Bloomberg. So there is something very valuable there. But the core usability and the core UI of that company has not evolved.
I have my contribution.
And Perplexity is very good at that, by the way. They do a very good job.
I got a new domain name, Travis. Let this one just sink in here. This is my way to weasel my way into the deal. Begin.com.
No.
Begin.com.
You own that, don't you?
I do. I snipe some good ones once in a while. I got begin.com and I got annotated.com. Those are my 2 little domain names.
You're like one of these old people that show up at those flea
like
markets.
The road show, and then they all of a sudden
the
you got a
antique
Picasso.
road show, and you're like, oh, I have this thing that I bought in 1845.
Guys, Jason is the daddy in GoDaddy. Okay,
That's just what
it is.
I'm your dad.
That's what it is.
Who's your daddy?